David J. Atwood. I am the man rocking the Ray-Bans. Today it is Monday morning, and it seemed like this weekend went by way too fast, but we got a lot of work done. Really trying to clean up the backyard where the corners where the developers have come in, and we put a fence up, we put a garden up, we're trying to get some trees growing there. The trees are taking a bit of a time to establish because it's funny because Gabby gets so frustrated because we're trying to do things naturally. We're trying to grow things in nature. And the funny, ironic thing is nature seems to be fighting us so hard trying to grow nature. We had an infestation of aphids, and really interesting how aphids destroy plants. I did not know this, but they latch onto the stalk of the plant and they take the nutrients from the basically from the root system. So what happens is you get these leaves that all curl up, and it was kind of interesting that she was learning all this. And of course we're fighting with the raccoons, we're fighting with the rabbits and the deer, and just the soil itself. Like there's so many, but there's so much we're learning as well. This year our garden is not going to be the most productive garden, but we are learning a lot about how to protect the garden, how to grow it, and also how to make sure the nutrients are in the soil. So this year we didn't fertilize the soil with anything. Next year we'll be on top of that. So, but the thing that's important about that is we're out there, and there's a lot of really big things that need to be done out there. A lot of big things, a lot of clearing, a lot of trips to the dump with a lot of the compost we have to get rid of, because I'm trying to build a compost heap back there so we can use it for next year. But there is so much that we actually have to take it to the place where the community where we can drop off the compost. But it is a lot of work, and I've got a lot. I usually always have a lot going on my plate, and a lot of things I have to deal with. But it's important when you have a big task to start it, and that's the thing. A lot of people, and with me, and my procrastination always is because I am afraid to start the task. I'm afraid to start the task and move forward with it. But that's the procrastination part. But once I get going, yesterday when I went out to the sun, and it was a hot day, and I put on my big floppy hat. I went out there and I said, okay, we're gonna work in this garden, until for half an hour or so. 2 hours go by. You get into the rhythm of it. And that's the thing, is when you got that procrastination kind of vibe going on, I find that it's really easy it's easy to get going. Sorry, that's not true. It's not easy to get going. It's hard to start, but once you do get started, it's easy to keep going. And that's why I always say it's important. The hardest thing is to show up. The hardest thing is to show up for work on time. The hardest thing is to show up at the gym. The hardest thing is to show up if you're dating, to go to that date. The hardest part is showing up. Once you show up, once you end up in a place, you think, oh, you know what? Might as well rake this grass for a little bit. Might as well turn the soil and weed it a little bit. And next thing you know, well, we've been here half an hour. Might as well stay here a little bit longer. We got the equipment here. We kind of got a rhythm going, and that's what happens. And I always found that when I got to the gym, when I was training all the time, when I got to the gym, it was, well, I'm here now, I might as well do some push-ups. That was always the case. You might as well do the sit-ups. You might as well do the full-on work. You're here. You might as well do it. But it was so easy for me when I was sitting at home, looking at my karate gi, thinking to myself, I could not go, and there's no one there to stop me. There's no one there to say, you don't have to go, Dave. Nobody. I could just stop going and stop going forever. I wouldn't even have to keep going. I just stop. But it is when you show up, when you start, like the other day, like yesterday when I was in the garden, I didn't want to be there. I wanted so bad just to hide in the house, and there's so many things I could be doing on the computer in the office, but it's just, I noticed that it's just not getting done, and it's starting to look shoddy out there, and I said, you know what, I wanted to get this one little task done, and I wanted to gather up some garbage that we had to take to the dump. And once I had that done, I thought, you know what, I'm going to move this pile of dead leaves that we've been tripping over for the last couple of weeks. And then once that's done, I'll go up and rake that place by the fire pit that we're trying to set up. It's easy once you get started. The hard part is to actually push yourself to get to that place. That's always the hard part. Once you get up and you're at school, well, you might as well go to class. You might as well listen to the teacher. You might as well take notes. You might as well pack up your stuff and get ready. Make a note of all the homework you have to do. It's really quite funny that it's just that small thought. I always equate a lot of stuff to going to the gym. I used to hate going to the gym. It's not that I hate it now. It's just that it's easier. You get that inertia after a while. You start getting that it's at first it's discipline. First it's motivation, then it's discipline to keep going, and then after a while it becomes habit. And then it's just like, you just kind of walk into going to the gym. It's the same like with anything else in life. Once you get in the habit of doing things, you will continue to do things. The trick is to create the habits that are going to propel you towards success. If your habit is getting up on your phone and doom scrolling or playing video games, you're not going to get to that next level of success. So you have to start kind of getting into that push past the procrastination, push past the thoughts that are like, oh, it's going to be hard. And a lot of times I think what the real crux of it all is, it's not the act of doing it that you're afraid of. It's the consequences. It's the pain. It's the tiredness. It's the once you get to the other side. And I think this is what separates a lot of people from elite athletes. Elite athletes don't care about the broken body that's left after the workout or after the competition. They don't care about what happens after. All they care about is the actual action. And a lot of people, I know myself, I'm always thinking about the next, what happens after. And that's what keeps me from getting into the fray and actually getting to the gym, sticking on that diet. It keeps me, these are the things that hold me back, is that perpetually thinking, oh, I got to think about this and that negative outcome. I think it has something to do with a bit of living in the moment. But again, the most important thing is to get to doing what it is. Let go of the outcome. Let go of the feeling of being embarrassed because you're not in the best shape, which is kind of ironic that people go to the gym to get into shape and they're feeling ashamed for not being in the best shape. I know I felt it a couple years ago when I started going back to the gym, and what was it? It was like 3 years ago or so. Yeah, it was 2020. Yeah, so 4 years ago, I was back at the gym, and it had been the first time I'd been on a treadmill, and I was jogging so slowly that when I stopped jogging, I could walk. But that's how afraid I was of hurting my knees because of the injuries I had to my knees in the past. I was so afraid of snapping another tendon or ripping another something or whatever. And that's what kept me from going there. Plus, this is the worst part. The worst part was what kept me from going there was, the fear of my knees, but also the shame I felt for not being in shape, which is so ironic because you go to the gym to get into shape. You don't show up at the gym in shape. You're allowed to be out of shape at the gym, and congratulations, you should be. And if you're out of shape and you're at the gym, you're in the right direction. You're in the right place. But so many people don't go to the gym because they're ashamed about their appearance and how they've let themselves go. Anyways, this wasn't really what I was going to talk about today. What I was going to talk about today was something completely different. But procrastination is a success killer. It's an abundance killer. Procrastination is basically you saying, this is good enough. This is comfortable enough, so I don't have to, work any harder or do any more. I'm okay. And what needs to happen is you need to get to a place where you say, not that you're not okay, that it could be better. And I think that's the real key. Get up, show up. It's that simple. It's get up, get your ass out of bed. What did I tell someone? I told someone who was actually going through some, they had some addiction issues. And I said to them, here's what I want you to do. Here is my rule for this person. It was to get up, breathe outside air, feel green grass under your feet, and work on getting clear pee. Like, drink enough water that your pee is clear. And I think those are pretty simple things to accomplish. Start with that. And then start working towards getting to the gym and whatnot. Procrastination is going to kill you. It will. Get out there. Show up. Once you show up, you'll start doing stuff. It's really nice. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. That's always nice. I see a lot of people watching the shorts. A lot more people watching the long form. That's what it's about. Make sure you check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's where all the good stuff is. And of course, as I always say, spread the word. Spread the word, because I want to get the word out there to let everyone know that they have an inalienable right to live a life of success and abundance. Thank you so much, and wherever you are in this beautiful summery day world, God bless.